Robert thought he was being smart. At 68, he'd heard about probate horror stories. Families waiting years for inheritance. Lawyers eating up half the estate in fees. So he went online and found the solution. A revocable living trust. For just $199, LegalZoom would create all the documents. No expensive attorney visits. No complicated meetings. Just fill out the forms and print. Robert was proud of himself. He'd outsmarted the system. The thick envelope arrived 2 weeks later. Beautiful blue folders with official-looking papers. The Robert J. Patterson Family Trust printed in gold letters. He signed everything carefully, had it notarized at the bank, filed it away in his safe. Done. Protected. Or so he thought. What Robert didn't understand was this. Creating a trust is like buying a safe. But if you never put anything inside the safe, it's just an expensive empty box. Robert never funded his trust. The house stayed in his name. The bank accounts stayed in his name. The investment accounts stayed in his name. The truck, the boat, the rental property, all still in Robert's name. Not the trust's name. 2 years later, Robert had a stroke while fishing. His son Michael found him collapsed on the dock. Robert lived for 6 more months, but never spoke again. When he passed, Michael thought everything would be simple. Dad had a trust, after all. No probate needed. Just follow the trust instructions. But when Michael brought the trust documents to the bank, the teller shook her head. "I'm sorry, but this account is in Robert Patterson's name, not the trust's name. You'll need to go through probate to access it." Michael was confused. But he has a trust. Creating a trust and funding a trust are 2 different things, the bank manager explained. Your father never transferred ownership of his assets to the trust. The house worth $350,000, probate. The savings account with $85,000, probate. The investment account with $120,000, probate. Everything Robert tried to avoid by creating the trust. The probate process took 18 months. The attorney fees came to $28,000. The court costs added another $6,500. Michael had to pay property taxes and maintenance on the house while waiting. That was another $8,200. Robert's neighbor Jim had used the same DII trust. He made the same mistake. His family paid $31,000 in probate costs. Robert's sister-in-law, Carol, same story. $24,000 in unnecessary fees. All because they thought signing papers was enough. The cruel irony, Robert spent $199 to avoid probate. His family spent $42,700 going through probate anyway, plus 18 months of stress and waiting. The trust was perfect, beautifully written, legally valid, completely useless. Like a fire insurance policy on a house you don't own. Michael found a folder in his father's desk. Instructions from LegalZoom about funding your trust. Pages of explanations about transferring assets. Forms for changing account ownership. Steps Robert never took. Maybe he didn't understand. Maybe he thought signing was enough. Maybe he planned to do it later. Later never came. If you have a trust sitting in your drawer, listen carefully. Go check your bank statements. Look at your house deed. Read your investment account names. If your name is on those documents instead of your trust's name, you have an expensive empty box. Call your bank tomorrow. Ask about changing account ownership to your trust. Contact your mortgage company about the house deed. Call your investment advisor about retitling accounts. Yes, it's paperwork. Yes, it takes time. But that paperwork is the difference between protection and disaster. Don't let your family pay for your procrastination. Fund your trust before you die.